Mr. Hartwell, can you explain why is Bremen so important in when we talk about exploration of space?
Yeah, so Bremen is at the heart of the U.S. cooperation with the European Space Agency on developing the Orion spacecraft. And that is based on the development of the European Service Module that is an intertwined part of the Orion spacecraft and will go to the moon and eventually on to Mars someday. And that is developed here in Bremen. And that's a key component. We cannot do it without the European Service Module.
Why did you choose Bremen?
Well, we did not. So it was the European Space Agency that put out a bid for the contract, and Airbus won the contract for the European Space Agency as the prime contractor for the European Service Module. So it wasn't a choice from NASA, but we understand that the history of human spaceflight in Europe is here, from the development of the Columbus module, from the development of the automated transfer vehicle for the International Space Station. It's all here home in Bremen, and so it's a natural fit.
If you have to explain to other people, why do we have to explore space? I mean, we've been to the moon, isn't that enough?
Right, yes, why go again? We've been there, yes. Well, as I say to a lot of people, we went to the moon in the 1960s and 70s, or late 60s, early 70s. Also during that time frame, we had automobiles that look very much like automobiles that we have today. They have four wheels. Our automobiles today have a steering wheel and a windscreen and a boot, and it all looks very similar. Why make them better or different, or why continue? The answer is very much the same as it is for automobiles. That we want to go back to the moon, and we want to go back in a way that is much different than the quick way we went before, to sustain the exploration program, not in some quick achievement and then collapse of the program. It must be done in a sustained way to develop and continue to develop the technologies that we can then apply back to every facet of quality of life here on Earth. So automobiles, back to automobies, they today have all these safety features that were not even imagined in the time of 1960s and 70s, and our quality of life is much better for it. So the same will happen when we go back to the moon. We will push that edge, we will create much more safer vehicles, and that technology will flow back to Earth.
And do you think there will be people on the moon again this century, or maybe even on Mars?
Yes, oh absolutely. This century for sure. I believe we will be on the moon. I believe we will have a sustained presence on the moon. As today we have, since 2001, we have had a constant human presence in low Earth orbit on the International Space Station. And so for the 16 years, we've had people on orbit off the face of the Earth for 16 years straight. This will also happen, I believe, on the moon before we are ready to say we are ready to take the risks to land on Mars. That's my prediction. And I think it's a very important place to practice and to understand and to develop the reliability of the systems that you need.